This month's theme is On the Wings of Love. Ooh. So let's begin our journey by understanding the foundations of love. Discover how love starts within and radiates outward, setting the stage for deeper connections and a more compassionate world. So let's welcome deeply our very special guest speaker today, Reverend Tammy Amand, with her talk, The Foundation of Love.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, it's been a minute since I've been up here, hasn't it? Yeah. My goodness, look at you. A whole room full of people on the August long weekend. That is fantastic. Love that. And I see Zoomers in the room as well. Hello, Zoomers. Nice to see you. So, yes, this month, what you're going to be hearing about is love all month. And most of the theme for this month is going to be based on Thich Nhat Hanh, on his book, The Teachings on Love. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and his whole teaching, his whole practice really is around love. And so it's going to be a really rich month for you, learning about all of the different practices that go along with that. But today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about the foundation. And what I've chosen, see, this is something this is my jam. This is what I am working on in my life. So I'm taking you right along the journey with me as I learn this, as I deepen in this. And so my centering thought for today comes from a quote from Kabir. Kabir was from India in the 15th century. He was a devotional mystic poet. And what he said was, do what you do with another human being, but never put them out of your heart. This has been my practice. This has been what I've been working on. And it's a very challenging thing to say. Do what you do. It doesn't matter what that is. Whether it's a yes or a no, whether it's a welcoming in or a pushing away, whether it is what you do with your life as, maybe you're a soldier and you're pointing a weapon at another person. Can you do that without putting them out of your heart? What if you are a nurse in an ER and you've seen 1,000 people already that night? Can you see the next person without putting them out of your heart? What if you are a parent of an unruly teenager who is having all kinds of issues? Can you be the disciplinarian, the one that lovingly puts a container of discipline around them and keep them within your heart? Whatever you do in your life, whether you're an arms dealer or a teacher, whether you are a custodian in a high school or a minister standing at the front of the room talking about love, can you do what you do with another person and never put them out of your heart? That's a tall order, isn't it? It's a really tall order. But I'm going to give you another quote, and this is from Thich Nhat Hanh, from the Teachings on Love. He wrote, "The Buddha taught that it is possible to live 24 hours a day in a state of love. Every moment, every glance, every thought, and every word can be infused with love." Is that possible? 24/7? Do you think that you can be infusing your entire life 24/7 with love? It's a really challenging practice. This is the work. This is the deepest work, in my opinion, in my life. This is my work. So Tibetan Buddhism talks about the 4 immeasurable minds. It talks about love and compassion, joy and equanimity. And those are all really aspects of the one love, that universal love, the source love that we all are. And this is the foundation of love. So before I get into what I mean by the foundation of love, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial that may not be something that you expect to hear from up at the podium. But even when you are fully grounded and fully living from that place of source love, from that place of foundational love, even when you are in that, it will not change your life. Or at least in itself, it will not change your life. What you do, how you move through your life, what your circumstances are around you, those are all part and parcel of what has been created and brought forth from many different levels and parts of your own creation, your mind, your upbringing, your world around you. Simply living from a foundation of love isn't going to change the mechanics of what you do every day. But what it will do, inevitably, is it will change everything about how you perceive it, how you see it, how you feel it, and how you are within it. The beingness of you. And that's where we want to get to today. That's why we can say that no matter what you do with another person, that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're doing it from a place of love, that you never put another person out of your heart. Or we can even say another being out of your heart. So there's an interesting predicament about trying to teach the foundation of love. Because the foundation of love doesn't come in words. And yet here I am putting words to things. And so I just invite you to hold lightly to the words that I'm saying and maybe enter more into the feeling. Because the words themselves are just a finger pointing. You know, what you really want is to be the experiencer of what is out, the wider idea, the wider sense, the wider beingness that is love. So the words themselves are always inadequate. But sometimes the better way to get to that sense, that deeper sense, that wider sense, that more universal sense, is through story or metaphor, through imagery, poetry. Music brings us there for sure. Art brings us there. So today what I would like to do is just add a little bit of story and add a little bit of imagery that maybe you can access that deeper part within yourself without holding tightly to the words. Just allow the words to flow through and feel what it is to you. So the first story I want to tell you is, actually it's a creation story. And it's my favorite creation story. It's from the Kabbalah. And the Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism. And the way the story goes is this, that in the beginning, before anything, all there was light. And in the Kabbalah, the word light is actually a euphemism for another word for love. It means love. And so all there was the light. And the light in its very nature was giving. Think about how light shines outward. The light in its very nature was giving. So this love, this light, was giving of itself, but there was nothing to give to. So out of its own self, out of its own substance, it created a vessel. And this vessel it created with the sole purpose of receiving its love. And so the vessel, because its purpose was to receive love, willingly was open to receiving the love that the light had to give. But over time, there arose within it a tension Because not only was this vessel created with the purpose of receiving love, it was also created from the very substance of light, that nature of giving. So while all it was doing was receiving, there was a part in it that didn't want to receive anymore. It wanted to be the giver. And so the vessel, at some point, decided that it could not receive anymore, and it said to the light, "Stop! Stop! I don't want to just receive, I want to give." Well, the light, only wanting what was absolutely the deepest desire of this vessel that it loved so dearly, it withdrew. Now imagine when all your life has been in the light, and suddenly there is darkness. The vessel became afraid. The vessel cried out, "No, no, no, don't go, don't go." And so the light, overjoyed to be welcomed back in, went rushing back into the vessel in full force. But unfortunately, with that vessel, there was still that tension, that giving and receiving tension. And so what happened was that when the light returned in full force, it shattered the vessel into infinite number of pieces. And those infinite number of pieces became our universe, became each one of us. Kind of sounds like the Big Bang Theory, doesn't it? I love that story. But that's not really the end of the story, because the end of the story is the telling of the teaching, which is that when each of those tiny shards of the vessel, those tiny pieces of love, those tiny, tiny pieces of light, when each of them learns to receive for the purpose of giving, that then the vessel will come back together and be whole and be one with the light. So what I learned from this story is two things. Firstly, that we have to be in the flow of the receiving and the giving, that we are a part of the flow. We are not separate from it, that we are the giving and we are the receiving, and that love is that flow that is through us. The other thing that I learned from that is that the vessel is made of love. It is the form of love. It's love made into form. And it kind of reminded me of another image, and this is again from that poet Kabir, and he talks about filling a vessel full of water and then placing it into water so that there's water outside and water inside. Now think about it. What if the vessel was made of ice? It would be the solid form of water that contains water, that is immersed in water. There is no place where water is not. There is no place where love is not. And just as we come into form and then eventually dissolve back into the love that we are, so when you put a vessel of ice in water, eventually it will dissolve into the water. It will melt into and resolve back into what it is. And what it is water. What we are is love. There is nothing that separates us from that infinite love that we are. So this is where we begin. We see that we are always, always, always and only made of love. Every part of our universe, every part, every expression, every single one. Now I'm sure in your mind you can come up with half a dozen just like that you think, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that person. I don't know about that situation. How is that love? But at that foundational level, we are all love. The only thing that takes us out of that beingness in our love that we are is how we perceive and how we think and how we understand ourselves to be. It's our ego mind that separates us. It's our ego mind that tells us that we are this and you are that we make an object of things. And that's the way our mind works, and it is part of who we are. And we are also allowed to love that ego part of us that is only doing its best to keep us safe in this expression of human life that we're in. All of it, every last part of it is love. So how can we get ourselves to that? Well, again, here we find the inadequacy of our words. The Tao Te Ching, which is a Chinese philosophy, talks about that, I'll actually read the quote. In the pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In the practice of the Tao, every day something is dropped. And that's what we need to do in order to find ourselves back in that place of beingness, of recognizing the love that we are, of practicing the love that we are, of working in the world in the love that we are, never closing our heart to another being. How we do that is we have to drop the things that we have layered upon who we are. We weren't born with all of our personas and all of our value systems and all of our shell of beliefs and ways that we think we need to be in the world. We weren't born with that. As an infant, all we were was the wonder of the universe in this tiny little packet of beauty. We can be that again. We simply have to let go of some of those things. Let go of all of those layers that we've put on ourselves, all of those roles that we've decided have been ours to do or that have been placed on us by society around us, by the world around us. We let go of those things. And when we let go, that's when we come back. That's when we come back to that source of who we are that is already there. There's nothing to add, only something to let go. There's nothing to do, only something to be. There's nothing that can be spoken or taught. But in the stillness, we can access that deeper awareness. So I'd like to offer you a practice, and this is something that I am practicing myself. So what I'll do is I'm going to walk you through it, but I want you to be aware that this takes some time. For me, anyway, it has taken some time to deepen in this practice and to really realize the benefits of it. But I'll teach you it because you can walk through it yourself. And you can do this anytime or any place. So what I invite you to do, if you choose, is just close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. Allow your mind to settle. And just focus your awareness on your heart space. That center place within your physical being, within your mental being, within your spiritual being, where you see a point of love. Now you may see that point of love as being just the tiniest speck of light. Or maybe it's a flame. Or maybe it's a great big ball of light. Whatever it is inside of you, just simply allow it to expand. Feel that light, that love, expanding to encompass your whole body. And if there are parts in your body that you have put out of your heart, take them in. Make them a part of that love. Know that the love that is you encompasses all, every part of it. And now expand that love out even further into your mental atmosphere. in all of your thoughts and all of your beliefs, that ego mind. Allow that love that you are to hold all of it, even those parts, and especially those parts of you, of your personality, of your way of being in the world that you may have put out of your heart. Expand your love around those. Make it a part of your love. And now expand your love out a little further into the world around you. It can be as narrow as this room or as wide as the whole earth. Every place where you may have put something or someone out of your heart, just expand and expand and expand. Take it all into your love. Make it all a part of the love that you are. The love that you are is bigger than any of it. The love that you are contains all of it. Nothing is separate. Nothing is beyond the scope of the love that you are. Remember, you are that one love in form, containing love, surrounded by love. There is nothing else. So you can come back into this space now and just know that you can bring that practice with you wherever you go, whoever you meet, however you are experiencing life, whatever part of you or part of the world that you have closed your heart to, you can open it and welcome it in. And what you'll notice is that the more you practice this, the more you do this, the more your heart will remain open. And when it does close down, you'll see it, you'll catch it, you'll feel it sooner so that you can reopen your heart, so that you can re-enter all of that into your life, into your heart, into your love, that you can allow everything to be encompassed by the love that you are. See, now when I say, do what you do with another human being, but never put them out of your heart, can you feel how that feels different now? Can you feel that maybe there's a possibility that I can do this? Maybe there is a possibility that I can, as Thich Nhat Hanh said, walk through life 24 hours a day, in a state of love, with every movement, every glance, every thought, and every word infused with love. When we open ourselves to the love that we are, that foundational love that we are not separate from, we have such opportunity. And even if your life itself doesn't change, everything changes. And the opportunities to be in deeper joy and deeper compassion and deeper equanimity, all of those things come to you in ways that they could not have before. So I'd like to end with an affirmation that is actually, it's a quote from Ernest Holmes. Is it up there now? Yay, thank you. This is a poem from the back of The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and it's called The Circle is Complete. So please read this with me if you choose. The circle of love is complete. It comprehends all, includes all, and binds all together with cords of everlasting unity. I cannot depart from its presence, nor wander from its care. My love is complete within me. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here today.